This video shows how to do a rustic stars and stripes stencil by simply using the shapes that are in Design Space. And you'll bring in a square and a star. I'm going to make this one smaller and get it out of our way. So basically, all you're going to do is take your square, unlock the corner, and I'm making my stencil 5.5 inches square, so I will make this 5.5 inches wide, 5.5 wide by, let's see, maybe like half an inch. That's a little too big. You'll just play with, depends on how many stripes you want, how thick you want them to be, what look you're going for. And then you'll simply just use this turning corner to rotate it. And you can build it directly on the square if you want to. When I started this out, I just brought in several squares. One square, duplicate it several times, and then you can take one of those. Let's see, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So take one of those and flip it horizontally, and then you can just play with the placement of them. Then you can duplicate that one several times and just play with the placement of them until you get a look that you like what you're going for. You can go ahead and take all of these and line them up to the left or right, either way. So I grabbed them all, align, and I'm gonna say up here, align left. So that's gonna go ahead and get them all in a line for me, and then I can visualize when I play with them what they will look like. They'll move a little bit off and I'll have to put them back at the end. But you can just keep doing that. Let's see, I don't have any more at the bottom. Basically just play with those until you like the placement of them. You can make more. I'm going to duplicate this one that's going the opposite direction. You can turn the ones that you already have in there until you come up with a look that you like. Once you find the look that you like, you're going to grab all of them again, realign them, left or right, again, doesn't matter. I'm ignoring that right now they're all touching because just showing you kind of how to bring them in. You're going to play with that until you like the way it looks and make sure they're not overlapping probably. And then you're going to grab all of these, weld them. Now keep in mind, anytime you weld, if I save this project right now, I cannot undo the weld. So you can either weld or you can attach or you can group those. But I want to slice this corner out. So I'm going to need to weld it since you can only choose 2 items to slice. So let's say this is 5.25 because my stencil frame is only going to be 5.5, so I need that to fit within that space. Gonna bring in another square and I'm gonna slice this out. Again, you can only slice using 2 items, so that's why I had to weld those together. And let's just place it right about there. This is selected. I'm gonna also select all of my stripes and slice. And that took out the space for the stars. Get rid of that. We're going to basically do the same thing with the star, unlocking the corner and then sizing and turning to get whatever shape you're kind of looking for. You can see how it distorts it if you turn it a little bit. If you'd left it upright, it pretty much keeps it correct when you're sizing it there, but it distorts more with that. So then I'm going to duplicate that a few times and play with the sizing, the placement, how many you want on your stencil, what look you're going for. And then when I did mine, I got 1 row and then I grouped that row. I actually did more than that in my row. You can see here, I think I did maybe 7. I like to do odd numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I did 7. But let's say I had a row that I liked the way that it looked. You would select all of those, and I grouped them. And then I duplicated that group, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, duplicated that row 4 times so that I have 5 of them. And then I flipped half of them. So every other one I flipped horizontally so that they wouldn't look exactly the same on the stencil. My rows wouldn't all look identical. Now you could make all of your stars look exactly the same if you wanted to. Really is just a matter of preference. But for the rustic look, I went for that. And then I noticed once, of course, all my middle ones, because I had 5 in the row, all my middle ones were exactly the same. So I ungrouped and just kind of plucked out one here or there and duplicated a different one. So say I duplicated this one and then plugged it in, and just kind of, again, play with it until you get the look that you like. Once you like that look, you will size that accordingly to fit within here. I'm going to group that together so that they stay together. Get rid of this guy. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to size it. I'm going to unlock the corner and size it so that it fits well here. Again, for me, I like odd numbers, so I would probably have 5 in every row, and I'd probably have 5 rows. And then I'm going to grab this as well and align to the left. Then I know that I need to make this guy a little bit smaller. And I would probably ungroup this little grouping and say duplicate a few stars to fill in even around there. My 5 rows worked pretty well. But just fill in the spacing however you like the way that looks. When you're all finished, you like the way it looks, you're going to group all that together, bring in another square, and this will be your stencil frame square, your plastic stencil frame square, 5.5 inches, whatever it is, the size that you like to make yours. Doesn't matter what color it is, but for the videos, it shows up a little bit better when it's lighter. And I can see that my stars and stripes are a little bit too big to fit in my frame, so I'm going to adjust that 5.25. And I'm also going to bring it to the front. Place it over my stencil frame and select both, align, and I'm going to center that. Then attach. So now, once you have placed your stars and stripes where you like them with the amount of them that you like and it's attached, this example here would be ready to cut. I hope that helps you. If you have any questions at all, please place them in the comments so that others can benefit from your questions as well. Thanks.